Hey, it's Jess. Welcome back. I'm here with another book haul. Oh my goodness, it's so heavy. My library had their semi-annual sale. It was the last week of April. It is now the last week of May, and I am finally filming this video. So, I can't remember. I think I got, what did I say? I'll check at the end, but I think I got 24 books for $46. Well, $45.50. I think. I could be wrong. But let's just go through them and see what we find. Okay, I'm just going to dive in. Actually, you know what? I'm going to take them out and put them on the table in front of me. Okay. Oh, see, I haven't looked at this in a month and I've completely forgotten some of the things that I got. And I just saw one and I got super excited about it. Okay, almost done. All right. Okay. Whew. I know some of these are books that I have read before, so let me kind of go through that real quick. Oh my gosh, I totally forgot about... Whoa! Oh, I just dropped one on the other side of my table. So I got 4 books that I have already read. So the first one I got was another copy of Dragonflight by Anne McCaffrey. Do I already have a copy of this book? Yes. I only have 1 copy. But I don't have a copy with this cover, and this is one of my favorite... This is one of my favorite books. I know reading it now, it doesn't necessarily age well. There's some problematic stuff in it, but I love Anne McCaffrey. I love Dragonflight. One of my favorite books, and I needed this cover because that's how I am. I got Bless Your Heart by Lindy Ryan. This is also one of my favorite books. It is about a family, the Evans family. The women in the Evans family run the only funeral parlor in this small town, and unbeknownst to the rest of the town, they are actually like vampire hunters and make sure that the people who come in dead stay dead. And then obviously things happen. I gave this book 5 stars. I love it, and as soon as I saw it, I had to grab a copy for myself. The Red Queen, this is a very beat up copy. This cost me $1. I have already read this book, but they also had the sequel, The Glass Sword. So I haven't read this in forever. I borrowed it from my sister-in-law. I'm talking like 7 or 8 years ago. So I wanted to go ahead and get it. I do remember liking Red Queen, and since they had The Glass Sword, I went ahead and picked both those up. They were $1 each. Last book, I have not read The Glass Sword. The last book that I have read, this is a book that I almost thought that I had imagined. I had this book as a paperback as a child, and I read it all the time, and no one I know has ever heard of this book. It's called The Pushcart War by Jean Merrill, and this is a hardcover copy. It's very, very old. It is, oh my goodness, I don't even know when this was. I don't know how I even got a copy in the first place, and I don't even see this forward is from 1986. I don't see a publication date, but it says it's historical fiction. It's not historical fiction. I mean, I guess it kind of is. It's set in 1976. So basically there's the company of like big trucks are pushing out the push carts, and there's a war between them because they want to be able to sell their things in their push carts. I don't remember a lot about it, but I remember, again, I read this book all the time, and really like last week or like the week before I went, very recently, I was like, man, I really want to read the Pushcart War. I don't even know if my library has it. And then I found it at the library sale, and it cost me, I think it cost me $1. So yeah, I'm actually really excited about that one. Okay, so those are the books that I've read that I picked up. Now we're gonna go to books that I haven't read. So let's see what else I got. I got The House on Mango Street by Sandra Cisneros. This is, I think, like maybe historical fiction. I don't know very much about it, but I've heard of it before. It cost $1. It says, in English, my name means hope. In Spanish, it means too many letters. It means sadness. It means waiting. It is like the number 9, a muddy color. It is the Mexican records my father plays on Sunday mornings when he is shaving, songs like sobbing. So that's like what's in the very first page. It's a novel of a young girl growing up in the Latino section of Chicago. That's all I want to read. But again, I've heard of it, and so I picked it up. This was You Should See Me in a Crown by Leah Johnson. This one also was, I think, $1. I don't know very much about it, but it's... Oh, okay, so Liz is our main character. She wants to go to this really prestige university, but they can't pay for it. Her scholarship, or the financial aid, falls through, and so she remembers there's a scholarship for prom king and queen. And so she, I guess, is trying to be prom queen. Again, haven't read this, obviously. Have heard of it, though, and when I saw it, I picked it up. I got Good Dirt by Charmaine Wilkerson. I read Black Cake by her back in January and absolutely loved it. I actually left that book with my mom when I went to visit her because I loved it so much. And so I wanted to try her second book. It looks like there is a family where a brother is unalived, the crime is never solved, and the sister flees and her past follows her. Again, I don't want to read more because I don't like to, but I loved Black Cake. I'm so excited to read this. I've heard wonderful things about this book, and I was very excited to see it. Okay, Starvaker by Andrew Michael Hurley. This is also a movie. I think the movie might have Matt Smith in it. I can't remember. This is like folk horror. It's about a family whose son dies suddenly when he's 5 years old. Their house is named Starvaker. It's on the moors. It used to be full of life, but now it's a haunted place. Convinced that Ewan still lives there in some form, Juliet seeks the help of the Beacons, a seemingly benevolent group of occultists. Richard, to try to keep the boy out of his mind, has turned his attention to the field opposite the house where he patiently digs the barren dirt in search of a legendary oak tree. But as they delve further into their grief, both uncover more than they set out to. I watched the movie, but I can't remember like very much about it because I watched it a while ago. But I almost picked that book up when I was visiting my mom in Florida. Like, I've almost picked Starvaker up so many times, and so it was $2, so I decided to get it. All right, I got The Boy on the Bridge by M.R. Carey. This is a sequel to The Girl with All the Gifts, which I read last year for Summerween and really, really liked it. That is also a series, a movie. This is in the same world. I do not believe that it is a direct sequel. Spam calls. I don't believe it is a direct sequel, but it's in the same world. So I'm expecting that we'll see a lot of the same characters. I really, really liked this. I really, really liked The Girl with All the Gifts. And so I'm excited. I had heard about this, but I had never seen it. And it was $3, so I picked it up. Okay, I also got Sheets by Brenna Thumler. This is basically about, it's a graphic novel, and it's a ghost that haunts a laundromat, I think. I've heard a bunch of things about it, and I saw it, and I was like, I've heard of this. I think it's right up my alley because it's a graphic novel, but it's also like spooky but funny, so I picked that one up. We Sold Our Souls by Grady Hendrix. This is one of the only Grady Hendrix books that I haven't read. It's following a guitarist from a band whose lead singer embarked on a solo career, and so the band is in obscurity now. So I'm sure that she is trying to make it big again with their band. I don't know. I do like that it looks like a magazine cover. I just think that's really cool. Okay, so I got that one. Everyone in This Room Will Someday Be Dead by Emily Austen. I haven't read anything by Emily Austen, but I've heard really good things about this. You're following our main character. She has thoughts of unaliving, self-deleting. So she goes to this church, a Catholic church, for therapy, but the father there thinks that she's there for a job, so then she becomes the secretary of this Catholic church. I'm pretty sure she's an atheist. So that sounds interesting. I like this cover. There's different covers of it, but I liked this one. I got that one. CJ Box 3-inch Teeth by CJ Box. It says a Joe Pickett novel. Is this like in the middle of a series again? Probably. CJ Box, I don't think I've read anything by him. It's a him. No, I haven't. There's 24 Joe Pickett novels. Goodness. Something about this one sounded interesting, so I decided to pick it up. Let's see. Wyoming game warden Joe Pickett faces two kinds of raging beasts, one animal, one human, in this riveting new novel from #1 New York bestseller CJ Box. It's like a wildlife guy, and there's a bear attack, and I don't know. I don't know. I panicked. Sometimes I get there and I just panic and I just pick books up. And this book was $1, so, you know, if I only paid $1, it's fine. I got White Horse by Erica T. Worth. This is another book that I've almost picked up at my library a bunch, but I never have. This is about a woman who is possibly haunted by the ghost of her mother, I think. I just skimmed. Again, I don't like to know everything that's happening. So, but I've heard of that. I've heard good things about it, so I got it. Okay, last stack. I got Fight Club by Chuck Palahniuk. Because why not? It was $1. It's about an underground fight club. The movie's based on this book, which is why the people are on the cover. I've never read it. I've seen the movie once, so thought I'd pick it up. Her Majesty's Royal Coven by Juno Dawson. I have heard really good things about this. I think it has a sequel, but I don't remember. It's about witches. It says, on the eve of the summer solstice, 4 young girls took the oath to join Her Majesty's Royal Coven, established by Queen Elizabeth I as the covert government department. That's all I want to know. I like this cover. Again, this one was $2. Cool. The Echo Wife by Sarah Gailey. I have really been on a Sarah Gailey kick lately. Have enjoyed the last 2 books of hers that I read. This one is about a wife that's a clone. So there's another woman made as a clone of the first woman, and the clone is having an affair with this woman's husband. So, The Echo Wife. Came out a while ago, haven't ever read it, but heard really good things. I got Clown in a Cornfield 2, Friendo Lives by Adam Cesar. I've read the first book. I haven't read the second one. This one was 50 cents because it was in the young adult. And it's about this really small town whose like mascot was Friendo the Clown, but it's a really rundown town, and the first one takes place during a high school party in a cornfield, which is why it's Clown in a Cornfield. I don't know what this one's about. I don't want to read the synopsis or tell you because it's a sequel, but there is a movie, Clown in the Cornfield. I saw it, but I don't remember very much about it. I don't think I was actually paying attention when I watched it, but I liked Clown in a Cornfield enough that when this was 50 cents, I just picked it up. All right, I got Sucker by Daniel Hornsby. I've also heard of this book, and it's about a guy who turns into a vampire, I think. Oh, he wants to separate himself from his family, his well-known family, and so he has to get a real job, and I think he turns into a vampire. I don't really know. I don't know, but this one was $3. Okay, The House Next Door by Annie Rivers Siddons. I've heard that this is surprisingly scary and disturbing. It's about this couple that move into a peaceful suburb in Atlanta, Georgia, but construction starts on the vacant lot next door, and they didn't think that it ever would be developed, and they discover something's wrong with the house next door. I got Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste Ning. I don't know how to say her last name. I'm very sorry. This is a show. Yes, original series on Hulu. I'd heard of it before. Okay, so it looks like there's this suburb, this small town, and a single mother comes in with her teenage daughter and upsets the whole status quo. And so there's problems. Coyote Songs by Gabino Iglesias. This is his second novel, Ghosts and Old Gods Guide the Hands of Those Caught Up in a Violent Struggle to Save the Soul of the American Southwest. I read one other book by him. I don't remember what it was. It had to do with a hurricane, and it was really, really good. I really liked it. And this one was in the dollar section, so I decided to get it. And it sounds interesting. I really liked his writing. I don't remember the name of the book, but I can see it. Anyway, it had to do with a hurricane and like gangs, and I really liked that. I read it either the very beginning of this school year or last school year, I can't remember which. Okay, anyway, it doesn't matter. The last one I caught was Orange is the New Black, My Year in a Woman's Prison by Piper Kerman. So this is the book that the show is based on. Obviously, I'm sure the show goes more fantastical than what actually happens in here, but I've seen the show. I've seen it twice. Well, I haven't watched it all the way through twice. I've watched the first 4 seasons twice, and I enjoy the show, and so I saw this, and again, it was $1, so I picked it up. All right, so let's see. I was right, 24 books for $45.50, and now I'm going to do that thing where I calculate and see how much I would have paid if I paid full price for all of these. So calculating this up, if I had paid full price, some of these did not have prices on them that I could see, like this one, but the sequel was $10, so I put this one as $10. This says it was $3.95, so my numbers are a little skewed, but it says I would have paid $442.51. So that means I would have paid an average of $18.43 for each book, and instead I paid $1.89 for each book. So I saved a whole lot of money. I already forgot. What did I say? $442.51. So I saved $397.01. So that's pretty amazing. I love my library sale. I'm so excited to get to read these. Now I'm gonna try to do that thing where I pick them up. Can you see me over all the books? No, you can't. Hey. Okay. Anyway, do I need more books? No. Do I love supporting my library? Yes. I got all of these secondhand. I supported my library. I got some really good gems in here, some things I'm very excited about. In fact, I think I'm gonna go read The Pushcart War again right now because it's a very short book, because it's got, you know, really big font because it's old and a kid's book. So anyway, out of all of these books, what should I start with? Because I have so many choices, I don't even know where to start. So what would you read first if you could read any of these books? Have you read any of these books? I want to know. And what did you think of them if you have? All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.